been a while, huh? My ideal Thomas is an LBSCR E2, if you couldn't tell, specifically numbered 105. He was built in Brighton of June 1915, where he was also allocated to with his brothers 100, 101, 102, 103, 104 and 106. Thomas spent his days in Brighton doing poor shunting and station piloting, and unfortunately was seen as a fake out to others, primarily 102. To Thomas, Brighton was dreadful. Being born in a time of war, not knowing what the hell is going on, being fresh out of the works, being berated and talked down on by other engines bigger than him, and being tormented by his brother 102. On the topic of 102, you may be wondering, hey Tomo, why is 102 such a jerk to Thomas? And to that I answer, you have to wait for episode 5 to come out, which is going to take a long time, I'm just going to tell you now. In December of 1915, Thomas came to realise that he had enough of Brighton. He thought it sucked.
Birmingham is a fucking shithole!
So with his driver and fireman, Bob and Cole, the three ran off with a wagon of coal and a brake coach, leaving the rest of the E2 siblings in the hands of fate and time. Thomas would arrive to Sodo in March 1916, where he met the kind red tender engine Eagle. Fast forward to 1919, Thomas is purchased by the North Western Railway 3 years after his sudden arrival, and is painted blue, alongside Edward, who arrived in the same year, replacing Eagle. During the years 1920 to 1924, Thomas returns to station piloting duties, getting more annoyed as time passes due to loaned engines treating him the same way he was treated back in Brighton. A documentary is made about Thomas's first training with the trucks that was originally made to help promote the railway, but was then cancelled after the trucks had their way with Thomas, disrupting the film. Unfortunately, the film was leaked and released to the public, and Thomas would feel even more upset, especially due to the bigger engines making fun of him. Additionally, the same events that happened in the books would take place. For example, Gordon dragging Thomas to Wellsworth, Thomas leaving his train behind, etc. Thomas felt like an outsider again and would sleep in the carriage shed, instead of sticking with the rest of the engines back at Vickerstown. This is where he would be introduced to Annie and Clarabelle, who would take a liking to Thomas's adventurous yet mostly caring personality compared to the more boastful engines. In 1925, Thomas was frustrated. He hated being in the yards, he hated the bigger engines, he hated having to wait for an opportunity constantly, and he even started to grow impatient of Edward's wisdom, like a teenager getting sick of their parents. But then, all of a sudden, there was a black blur that raced past the yards. It was James and he was horrified. His brake blocks were on fire. Thomas immediately would spring into action, reversing out of the yards, light engine and racing after James from behind. Thomas tried his best to save James, but wasn't enough for him to stay on the rails. Thomas then helped James back to the works, taking charge of the situation and making sure his new friend was safe. Thomas was then, as we all know, gifted a branch line. And that's where I'm going to leave things for now. This video was just filler, because I felt bad that I couldn't get any of Thomas's origin stuff out, so, you know, this kind of counts. Hopefully you enjoyed. Like, subscribe. Check out my Twitter. I'm doing commissions right now. Pretty cheap prices. and be sure to join the server as well. Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye.